Peace, peace, peace. I definitely got my smudge because I ain't got time for bad energies. Period. I'm going to say clear and honest messages. I am literally just coming up here to talk about my case that happened yesterday. I'm going to just give it a second because I really want the Spirit of God to be able to allow for me to say what I need to say. I'm not even with all this live stuff, but Spirit told me I can't be quiet no more because I understand that this problem is bigger than me. And so, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out where I start. Okay. Okay. So, I had court yesterday, and the reason why I had court was for registration. Well, let me tell you, this is not my first time having to go to court for registration, being the simple fact that I have been realized I had inherent tribal immunity and is and will be utilizing those rights. And so, okay, yesterday I went to court. Well, first off, let's start back from when I literally just had court in June. Yes, I literally just had court in June for registration. And I literally went to court, told them the reason why I did not register my vehicle with the court was because of the simple fact that I had all rights to doing it with my tribe. And so I'm pretty sure they knew exactly what I was talking about, understood it, all that, whatever. The case was dismissed. So then I got a ticket from another officer probably about a couple of weeks later for the same thing I had just went to court and got dismissed. So this time I told my tribe, I'm like, look, understanding that I've been waiting on my travel kit or whatever the case may be, my hometown or whatever the case may be is not listening to me. They're not honoring what I'm saying. They're not understanding that I understand what's going on. Me telling them facts, me putting stuff on the recorder of deeds, me putting stuff on my court cases, allowing for them to understand that I know exactly what's going on here, how they operate, not a House Resolution 192. So like, this isn't just my first time with this fight. And so at this time, I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday at court. Let's just start there. So I go into court or whatever the case may be, and it's people in court. Of course, there's a whole bunch of people in court. So me knowing me, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm trying to make a show off, challenge the judge, argue with the judge. Like, I don't want him to get any of those whiffs or whatever the case may be. And so I'm waiting patiently. So me and two of my other tribal members, we're all in the lobby and we're waiting. And so we peek into the courtroom to see if we could go in. And so we finally decided to go in. But then when we went in, we realized that basically they were kind of still just starting court. And so I'm not the type where I really like to sit through court because like none of that is appealing to me, being the fact I see what they're doing to people. Like, I really don't want to sit there and watch through that. So I'm thinking like, well, let me just let all these people go ahead and go. So that way, when I go last, it's understandable that I know I'm going to need some time from these people. I'm not just trying to sit here and get in the door and get out the door like a lot of other people. I'm really trying to solve this case, get it dismissed, like, you know what I mean, come to a conclusion, because really I shouldn't even have to be in here doing this with them, like, really, to be honest. And so we go back out because we were like, we were going to go sit back out there. Well, then the bailiff comes and tells us that the judge said that he want everybody in the courtroom, which makes no sense because he never said he wanted everybody in the courtroom before we had went in there. And yes, we went in there with our hairdressers and everything on, like true Indians, because that's what we are. And so the bailiff comes back out there and says that he wants everybody in the courtroom But that was never a problem before. So whatever, we go into the courtroom. Mind you, I'm still just waiting or whatever the case may be. I'm looking over my stuff, making sure I have everything for like the 1,000th time. And so then like they call if you representing yourself and you know, like if you represent yourself or whatever, you don't have a lawyer. And so I'm like, okay, so the line long or whatever. And so I'm still like, well, I'm just going to wait because, like I said, I'm not trying to be in and out. Like, I actually want you to sit here and listen to what I'm saying, understand what I'm saying, because I already had this stuff recorded on the recorder of deeds. So at this point, it's already fact. It's been notarized. It's been recorded on the recorder of deeds. So therefore, how can we really argue about this in a court that's not even on the record? Period. So I'm still waiting or whatever. Okay, so I finally get up and I go in the line, and it comes to me. The bailiff asks me my name. I'm like, last name. I'm like, Bay. They was like, Ty Bay. I said yes. And so then he goes up to the judge and he was like, this is the case of whatever, Ty Bay. And so then I'm like, is this court on the record? So Chestnut, or whatever the case may be, the lawyer that's sitting over there, he answers and says, no, this is not a court of record. All right, cool. So now me understanding that it's a court of record, all my filings that I have now that's filed with the record of deeds has more standing than whatever they trying to tell me. Now, mind you, the reason why the reason why I have to even fucking go to court is because I need to approve my registration for my car. And so I have that. My car with my tribe, I have that. I have my plate and I have my tribal ID. So that's basically what it is, and I'm trying to present it to them, and that's just what it is. So I asked him that, then he gonna tell me he's the one that asked questions and I just answer them. So basically you telling me you summons me to court, you told me to come to court and you don't want me to speak. Why did you call me here? Because I'm not that type of person to where you just about to tell me yes, I'm about to sign this. No, I'm not that type of person. So he asked me if I'm self-representing myself or whatever. I told him, yes, I'm self-representing myself. So then he's like, sign the paper. And so I'm like, can we handle this today? He's like, yeah, I just need for you to sign the paper. So I'm like, So I walk over to the paper or whatever the case may be, and I start reading the paper because I'm not about to just sign this. Mind you, like I said, this is not my first time going to court. So I have ignorantly signed the paper multiple times. And last time when I left court, I told myself next time I'm in that courtroom, before I sign that paper, I'm going to read it to make sure that I agree with it before I just sign it. And so I'm in the middle of reading the case or whatever the case may be, the paper that they want me to sign. And the lawyer over here and the bailiff, they all in my ear, telling me sign the paper, and I'm like blocking them out, reading to see what the paper said. And the paper said, do I agree with these charges that is being brought up against me? When I read that, I literally dropped the pen and went to my little folder where I had all my stuff in, pulled out my tribal ruling, and I said, I have a tribal ruling right here. Basically, this is going to be double jeopardy. So then when I'm saying that, or whatever the case may be, the judge is saying something about he not trying to argue with me or whatever. I'm not trying to argue with him. Mind you, I'm not loud. I'm not belligerent. I'm standing firm on what I'm saying because I know I need to speak up for myself. But I'm not sitting here being belligerent and yelling and making it seem like I'm causing an argument with this man, because that's not what I was doing. So the bailiff steps forward and tells me I need to just listen to the judge. The judge starts saying something about when I come off of tribal land. I said, off of tribal land, all of America is Indian land. American Indian. He didn't say nothing. The bailiff still telling me I have to listen to what the judge is saying. So I turned to the bailiff. I said, I'm not trying to argue with him. He said, I know you're not, but you just have to listen. I said, okay, I'm telling the truth. He said, I know you are, but you just have to listen. So then I stopped talking to the bailiff and I asked the judge, I'm like, well, what about the North Carolina Constitution? In this whole time though, the DA is I guess getting a continuous ready, because that's already what they decided that they was going to do for my case, regardless of me asking if I could handle it today. Not even that, mind you this, before me and the judge had even got into it, I had already handed my plate and my tribal ID to the bailiff. The bailiff tried to hand it to the DA and the DA said she didn't want to take it. So that's just all unlawful anyways. But I knew that from the jump. When I asked, was this court on the record, I already knew how they were going to try to carry me. So that's why, like I said, I already went and got all my stuff filed on the record of deeds. Like I said, my plate registered on the record of deeds. Truth. Like, I literally had to go get this stuff notarized by somebody from the state of North Carolina, and then I had to go put it on the register of deeds, the recorder of deeds. So when I put it on the recorder of deeds, they literally kept my packet overnight so they can read through all of the information that I put on the file. So it's not like I'm coming into this courtroom with a whole bunch of BS shit. Like, I really went and made sure all of this stuff was the truth before I even try to bring it to them. So it's not like I'm sitting here like trying to get over on no fucking body, because that's not what it is at all. But at the end of the day, like I'm saying, so I had handed my plate and handed my ID. The judge wasn't trying to hear what I was saying, so therefore, after that, or whatever the case may be, they said I had another court date on November 18th. Well, let me just tell you this. I didn't sign that piece of paper that asked me, was I approved? I didn't sign that piece of paper that asked me, was I approving of the charges that they were bringing up against me? Because I don't. Like I said, I had already had my tribal court ruling. They didn't even look at my quorum nobis, aka my paperwork that I put into court before I had even went into court. So that's just a whole nother story. So at the end of the day, now what I am getting at here is, okay, so if they would have read my tribal ruling, they would have seen in my tribal ruling where my tribal ruling said that if everything was, because the officer who had gave me the ticket, understanding that he don't even know or whatever, he was just acting out of how he was trained. So, okay, cool. Well, I wasn't going to take up no federal case against him because he don't deserve that, right? So now at this point, being the fact that my tribal ruling said that we wasn't going to take any federal cases out, they wasn't even trying to sit there and accept my tribal ruling to see exactly what was done, because it's obviously confusion. Like, if I have a North Carolina plate and I know that I'm Indian, but I still have their plate, that still gives them all jurisdiction over me, so they claim. And so that's the whole confusion of the whole me having my own plate, me having my tribal plate. So I got my tribal plate, and I definitely do have it on my car, and I don't care the smoke that's gonna come with after that, because I'm not gonna give the fuck up. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. Like, from me asking him about the North Carolina Constitution, and he didn't even want to give me a response, I already know he's not honoring that. So I already know that fight is dead. There's no reason to fucking sit there and have to go back in their courtroom and try to fight for anything when they're not going to honor it. So that's why you have to take it to their boss, like, point blank period. And that's where I'm at this point. So, like, what do you mean? I'm about to be filing a whole bunch of federal cases and all of that. But at the end of the day, like, I'm just saying, factual actuals. I could get up here and spit a whole bunch of facts, especially from the United Nations Human Rights, where in Article 19, it states that anything that affects an indigenous person that's administrative or legislative that they didn't have no free prior or informed consent to, they don't have to participate in. And I didn't participate in it, and I didn't ask them for none of that. So, yeah, like, definitely, like I said, everything is all peace, peace, peace. I never, ever wanted for anything to be war. Like, at the end of the day, I understand what they're doing. I understand it's way more people that will be against me than with me, and I'm fine with that. Like, I know what the fuck I signed up for. I know what the fuck I'm fighting for. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna shut the fuck up. Like, I don't understand. They don't understand. I'm not gonna shut the fuck up. Like, I've been quiet long the fuck enough. Like, period, point blank. But I feel like people think they know what the fuck going on. People feel like they can say we at war, this and the other, but half these people don't even fucking know me. Like, y'all don't even know me. Y'all don't even, when y'all call me into y'all court, obviously for whatever reason, y'all want to keep sitting there trying to get me to sign off on pieces of paper to given to y'all debt to help y'all to maintain with being able to do commerce on the land when y'all not even acting out your own principles, your own fucking constitutions and y'all oaths. Like, how you respect somebody to respect you when you're not even respecting your damn self? Like, where's your integrity? Where's your morals? So Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep speaking the truth. I'm not shutting the fuck up. So they're gonna get tired of hearing me, and I don't care. I'm gonna start coming on here and doing lives. Like everybody want me to do lives for other fucking shit, but what the fuck I need to do a live for? So now they done push me to that limit of where I'm gonna keep getting up here and I'm gonna keep telling what the fuck they doing for maladministration. Like I done fucking sent letters out. I done did all of that. I done came in peace so many fucking times. Like how much you expect for somebody to take? I'm one fucking person. I'm 5'2". Y'all got 5 people coming up on me telling me to sign a fucking piece of paper that I know ain't fucking right. Like, how does that fucking sound? I am no harm to nobody. I wasn't no harm to nobody in that fucking courtroom yesterday, and they want to keep saying I'm going to get caught in contempt. I'm going to get caught in contempt for what? I'm saying the truth. I'm speaking my truth. It's not like I'm sitting out here telling lies. It's not like I'm up here yelling at you. Like, no, I wasn't doing none of that. Like, none of that. He tried to sit there and make it seem like I was in total wrong, talking about something. I'm not trying to argue with you. I said, I'm not arguing with you. Like, even the bailiff said I wasn't arguing with you. But what you're not finna do is try to make it seem like I'm sitting up here in your courtroom and I'm trying to have an argument with you when that's not what it is. I'm simply speaking facts. Like, like I said, he tried to say that when you come off a reservation, what do you mean a reservation? The whole America is Indian country. Like, y'all in debt. House Resolution 192. Said it to him. He didn't deny it. Because he knows. You can't say it. Like, yeah, you can get that to somebody who don't know. But look, I've done these studies. I fucking know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's why I asked him about the North Carolina Constitution. Because right there and fucking and fucking damn. And fucking Section 3, it says all about internal government. In Section 2, it says all about sovereignty to the people. So, like, if you took an oath to this, don't sit there and try to underline me, talk about some, I'm not with that silent citizen movement. Who started citizens? Because according to 8 USC 911, I can't be no citizen. But inherent tribal immunity, I do have. Tribal sovereignty, I do have. So don't sit there and try to make it seem like I'm doing something that is not of the law, because I am all in harmony with the law. According to every oath that you took. Any United Nations human rights that was passed, any indigenous rights that was passed for American Declaration of Rights for Indigenous People, like, I'm not understanding. Like, treaties, the Treaty of Middle Plantation, the Articles of Peace, like, what is you saying? It runs deeper than you sitting there trying to work on your job, sit behind the bench for a financial gain. That's like, it's not even gonna come out in your favor. Because, yeah, I'm definitely going to the clerk of court. Make sure nobody forged my signature, because I know I didn't sign that piece of paper. Last thing I did before I left, when I turned around, they talk about November 18th. I'm like, okay, I looked over there at that piece of paper where that red X was, where they kept yelling in my ear for me to sign, while I'm sitting there reading it to make sure before I sign this is something that I signed to, and I did not fucking sign it. Before the judge wanted to go off and the bailiff wanted to rise up against me because they thought I had signed that piece of paper already and they wanted to get me out that courtroom. Nah, I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna follow up. Matter of fact, I got time. I just had to come up here and do this. But yep, that's what I'm doing. Making sure ain't nobody forged my signature on that piece of paper, because I do not agree to them charges. Because like I said, I already stated, it is on the record that I already had a tribal court on this. You can't be tried for something 2 times. That's double jeopardy. So then if we want to go into there, that's a whole nother thing. But that's just my point in saying, I just really had to speak my piece, because they really got me messed up. Really. Like, I be trying to fight silently. Like, I be trying to fight my battle silently. I be trying to free myself silently. You feel me? Like, I don't be trying to sit there and make it a whole big thing. Like, at first, I may have tried to, but then I realized, like, it's gonna get nowhere, and I can't help nobody if I ain't help my damn self first. So how the fuck I'm gonna sit here and tell people what to do, and then, like, if I see they not honorable, that means I'm sending you in there to do the same shit that I'm still fighting for. But I ain't still fighting, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what's right, like I said, and whatever comes with it, comes with it. But I'm not about to fold, because divine is in order of my mind, body, and affairs, and whatever divine tells me to do according to John 20:17, I'ma do. Like, regardless, because that's my judge, not man. Man is not my judge, and man damn sure can't be my judge when they not even acting in honor. Where their morals, where their integrity, like, nah, I'm not following. I'm not doing that no more. Nah. So like I said, I'm not gonna be quiet no more. So y'all may get an update, y'all may not get an update, but I'm about to get ready, go up here to this clerk of court, see what was filed from my case yesterday, because other than what I filed the other day, my decree, the United Nations Human Rights for Free, Prior, and Informed Consent, the Treaty of Peace, the Great Law of Peace, my tribal document, my tribal ID, my tribal registration, my tribal plate, and Babacan Illumination and Coastal Nations Treaty. Other than that, there should be nothing else that was filed, because I never signed to anything. I never consented to anything. So we about to see how deep this fraud runs, because yeah, I want them to have forged my signature. Like, everything I do, I be always having a backup plan. Like, what? I be steps ahead. Like, what? I already knew how they was gonna do me in that court, but that's why I made sure I showed them my tribal ruling. Make sure I showed them my plate, my tribal ID, as well as my tribal registration. Like, it ain't nothing else to it. But if we gotta go to federal, we can do that, because that's on the record, and I'm ready. Like, period, point blank. That's all it is to it. But yeah, I'm about to get ready and stuff. But peace, love, and honor. Okay, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Okay, that's all I got to say.